Hey everybody, this is Brad Doug reaching out to you and saying hi. Today we're going to talk about something referred to as the new kind of interaction standard that exists today. This is based on the new reality of our world and what the industries of the IT format are trying to get us to begin to do. Now, for the old dogs like myself, this is a bitter pill to a little bit of a degree. To the new people who are just don't know, they ask the question, and it's a legitimate question: how come I have to keep spending thousands of dollars over and over on equipment to use a service? So, what am I talking about? Well, what I'm talking about is how we, people of the United States at least, interact with computer systems to get what they want. You have three basic new categories. We used to have just two. We had a personal computer, and then we had an IT computer. And the IT computer could be a server or anything related to that to provide services. Now, some of the more advanced people will build their own servers in their homes with their personal computers, and they'll handle whatever they want to do, as well as use the internet for their internet browsing. That's PC, and that is server. Let's put it that way. Now, any device can be a server. May it be a small, thin design, or it could be a full-blown piece of hardware, and anything in between. Then you've got yourself a personal computer. Now, a personal computer can be a tower, a desktop computer. It could also be a microcomputer or a mini format manufacturing computer. Has all the bells and whistles, but it's just very small. Now, that's a PC. What the industry is now trying to do is they're trying to gravitate you to what we call the PD. That's the personal device. Now, the thing about a PD, let me give you an example. A PD is basically a bare minimum ARM processor style device. So what are we talking about? We're talking about these guys? Well, are we talking about these guys? Raspberry Pis? Are we talking about these guys? No. What we're talking about is a change in the industry that are trying to make it in such a way that they give you a device that has basic resources that can do one primary goal: get to the internet. That's it. These personal devices don't have any other feature or functionality. For instance, if I take a cell phone, right, it's got exactly the same thing that a Raspberry Pi has, except for one crucial thing. I can rebuild this into this if it was like this. In other words, if it was the Raspberry Pi, I have memory, I have storage capacity, and I have access. Very important. With these guys, no. The cell phone industry, even the Android environments, make it a real serious effort to get you to do what's called repetition buying. That means you got to replace this, and then replace this with that, and with that, replace this. See what I'm saying? Why? Well, instead of the days where you could download free software or open source code, install services locally for what you needed to do to accomplish what you wanted to do, and you could still do that, by the way, for the most part, industries out there are bringing new technologies like AI technologies and other what we call serviceable based processes to the table to allow you to be able to use their services through your window. That's the secret right there. Through your window. What is your window? A browser. That's it. So do you need anything special here? No, you don't. Spend $600, please, so that you have a browser window. Spend $400 so you have a browser window. See what I'm saying? And then after that, over time, the end result is pathetic. Phone 1, Phone 2, Phone 3, fancy Phone 4, Phone 5, PDA. Get it? What do? Nothing. Not really. They just give you a browser. And you sit there and you look at it and you text your questions. Now, is this bad? Is this good? It's neither. Does it make money? Oh, hell yes. It makes a lot of money for people who are not you. You're the one who pays out that money. Not directly. That's the secret sauce here. You don't pay money to an AI like a specific provider unless you have a very special task or a task, right? You get the browser service for free. The industry has really done a really smart thing here. They have built the underlying system environment for profitability. In other words, the browser. How do we make you spend money? Well, the reality of the fact is computers, even this microform computer, can give you 5 or 6 years of good use to browse, minimum. But it has up to 32 gigs of RAM. It can do quite a bit. It has quite a functionality, a good processor, far more capable than an ARMS processor. The bottom line is it has longevity to it. The industry is discovering that that's not a good thing. And they don't want you to be able to do that because you're not spending money. You're just taking full advantage of what's free. Rock on, that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. They make a whole heck of a lot of money anyways. So don't worry too much about them. And don't have that much sympathy for them either. Look, PDA devices, that's personal digital assistants, way back in the day were pretty neat. But they were self-autonomous and they could do a lot of stuff all by themselves. They failed to sell. They went away. They gravitated to computers because they could get you to buy a new computer for whatever, a game or something like that, and they had motivators to make you spend money. Cell phones was the next logical step to step down from a self-independent style PDA device and make you a dependent personal device, PD. And they've been really having a heyday with that. Now you're going to ask me, you're going to ask questions like, well, who are these vendors? Well, I'll give you one perfect one who started this a long time ago, and they did it purely to make money. Let me show you. Yep. You got it. Worst thing in the world. Never performs equal to anything that's really of any performance level. In other words, all of these other cell phones, Android based, way outperform this god-awful iPhone. But Apple wasn't stupid. They knew back in the 80s, the only way you're going to make money is to treat personal computers like washing machines. As we all remember the wonderful discovery of planned obsolescence to make things break sooner than later, so that you're forced to go out and buy another one, make it difficult to own it, all the things necessary to make you buy more. It's the same kind of approach with Apple computer systems. Now, over time, they kind of stepped away from it. They started using universal hardware and so on. That gave scalability to their hardware, and all of a sudden, people were hanging on to their stuff more than a year or two. That was unacceptable. So they pulled the strings tight, and they're back to their proprietary hardware platforms. They claim that they can give you all types of stuff, right? But compared to today's video GPUs and processors and stacks and all of that, of true PCs or personal computer systems, it's just not the same. I mean, the nice thing I got to give Apple credit for here is that they made their basic operating system, that's the OS, what you call the Mac operating system, very appliance-like. In other words, email just basically works. Nothing special. No advanced functionalities. Networking, basic. Apple Talk, God, I hate Apple Talk. It's very basic. Bluetooth, very basic. It gives you basic appliance kind of functionality. Kind of like walking up to a dishwasher or a clothes washer that you bought. You just put the stuff in it, close the lid, hit the dial, and hit the run button. 3 steps, and you got what you want. You walk away. And that actually is a sellable platform. It has value and merit. Samsung and Motorola and a few other companies did it better. And they always stay in the lead in regards to that, because the Android operating system actually gives you more. And that's valuable. It gives you everything the Apple offers in a very basic appliance like, but you get the advantages of true TCP networking and all the other advanced functionalities, very much like a PC. So if I had to say, would I buy an iPhone or would I buy an Android phone, I would say, if you don't care about anything really, go with an iPhone. You don't care. You just want to hit a little icon, it gives you what you want, you close it, and you go on. Fine. If you want advanced functionality, you want to be able to be highly compatible with everything out there, go with an Android, because Apple's not it, period, unfortunately. But even with Androids, sometimes manufacturers, may they be LG or may they be Samsung, they do a couple of things to try to make you want their product more, and that's a kind of a hit and miss strategy. But PD devices versus personal computers versus industry or services computers is the new norm these days. And please understand this very last critical detail here about this. All of them want to get you to this, because this is money. It really is. If they can just give you basically everything you want, versus it by being highly compatible or being very proprietarily compatible, i.e. the iPhone, they all want you to do this because they don't want you to be smart, in my opinion. They don't want you to take advantage of your computer. They want you to be smart, and they want you to take advantage of their services to improve them, to provide you better services. Now, there's an oxymoron there, right? Why am I making you better with my overhead and my costs? Because it makes them a whole heck of a lot of money. So that leaves us to one other critical detail, and that is independence. Now, most of us in the industry who are 15 years or older in the IT industry, we do this stuff because it's fun. It's cool. You can create something out of nothing. You can take broken gear and make it into something else. And that, in my book, is awesome. Now, that doesn't mean that's you. And I get that. And you don't have to. You say, I'm into doing art, or I'm into doing X, Y, or Z. Just understand that when this eventually comes to head, which I think it will, and the personal computer will no longer be available, there'll be a haves and the have-nots. Those who are stuck forever with personal devices will only get service by those who have personal systems, or real, by God, service systems. And that's just the fact of life. Why? Because there are fewer of us in the IT in this world than there are of non-IT. And so therefore there's a fit that exists out there. And I'm not for or against the mindset. It's just, don't complain if, you have no pathway out of this. It's just important that you understand that when you take the path of a PD versus a personal computer versus your personal computer and your own local services, or equivalencies of, or plus or minuses of those, which is very true, you'll find yourself in a situation where you can actually get boxed in and all you can use is only Apple services, or all you can do is this, or only you can do that. AI technologies is going to be a key part to that. I'll talk to that in the next video. But for now, I just wanted to talk to this mindset because it's important for you to understand that it's coming down the road in force. Well, this is Brad Dyke. I'm going to let you go. God bless and have a great week. You take care.